has a long history, not all good.
In a remote abbey in Romania, a young nun takes her own life. A priest with a dark past and a novice on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together, they uncover the unholy truth behind the abbey's mysteries.
God ends here.
The movie is set in 1952. At the Carta Monastery in Romania, two nuns are going down to a dark hall toward a door that reads, God ends here. Sister Victoria, played by Charlotte Hope, the younger nun, begins to pray while the elder nun goes through the door looking for some type of artifact. The older nun emerges, injured, imploring Victoria to flee before she is drawn back into the darkness. Victoria rushes toward a window as the attacker, the demon nun Valak, played by Bonnie Aarons, approaches slowly but steadily. Victoria begs God's forgiveness before jumping and hanging herself. Her decomposing body is discovered later by a man simply known as Frenchie, played by Jonas Bloquet. The Vatican officials learn about Victoria's suicide, which is seen as the greatest sin. They recruit the help of Father Anthony Burke, played by Damien Beecher, to conduct an investigation. He seeks out Sister Irene, played by Thaisa Farmiga, a young novitiate who is now working as a teacher for young girls. They band together and set out to find Frenchie so he can take them to where he discovered Victoria's body. The three travel to the abbey, where Frenchie guides Burke and Irene to the icebox where Victoria's body was deposited. Frenchie notices that Victoria is sitting up, despite the fact that he left her body lying down. Burke pries open Victoria's fingers and discovers the key in her hand. They then take her body and bury her properly. Burke finds new blood on the steps where Frenchie discovered Victoria's death as he walks back toward the abbey. They then enter the chapel but are unable to enter the abbey. They meet the abbess, played by Gabrielle Downey, who informs them that they are taking a vow of silence for Victoria and may enter the following day. Burke and Irene retire to their rooms as Frenchie departs. He wanders by the dark woods and notices what appears to be Victoria going through them. He pursues her and is attacked by a demon nun. Frenchie picks up a cross from the ground and walks away with it. Irene tells Burke about a sequence of childhood dreams that culminated in her hearing the words, "Mary points the way." Burke then relates an episode in France in which he was invited to exorcise a possessed young boy named Daniel, played by Auguste Maturo. Despite Burke's efforts, the youngster died as a result of the exorcism, and Burke has been plagued by guilt ever since. Burke is awakened later that night by the sound of music. He goes out into the woods and encounters what appears to be a demonic version of Daniel. Burke is pushed into a coffin by the vision before a demonic power buries him alive, leaving him with only a bell to ring. Irene also awakens and walks the chapel until she notices Valak in the mirror attempting to harm her. She dashes outdoors when she hears Burke ring the doorbell. Soon, several bells around graves begin to ring, but Irene locates Burke's coffin and begins to dig him out. Demon hands begin to tug at him before she can reach him, but Irene manages to free him. Inside the coffin, Burke then finds a bunch of books on the occult. Burke and Irene go to the abbey the next day, but only Irene is permitted in. Sister Ona, played by Ingrid Bisu, meets her and informs her that the nuns change shifts to pray to keep evil at bay. When Ona learns that Irene has seen Valak, she recalls the demon's background. During the Dark Ages, a duke obsessed with the powers of hell attempted to open a rift to summon Valak, but several men discovered and killed the duke before Valak could fully emerge, trapping him with an artifact containing Christ's blood. He remained imprisoned in hell until World War II bombs exploded around the monastery and opened the rift, allowing the demon to escape. Ona explains that Valak disguises himself as a nun in order to prey on their weaknesses. Meanwhile, Burke researches Valak and discovers his name. Frenchie is in a tavern when he learns that one of the patrons had a 12-year-old daughter who committed suicide by hanging after supposedly witnessing something Dad didn't want her to see. After Frenchie informs the bartender that he walked up to the abbey with Burke and Irene, the bartender warns him that the two of them could be the next victims. Burke makes another attempt to enter the monastery, only to be met by the abbess, who informs him that he will not be able to do so. He tries to ask the abbess about the key he discovered with Victoria, but she tells him it's too late and that Irene has gone missing. Her body seemed to go slack after that. Burke tries to see her through her veil, but her demonic body clutches at him until he tears her hand off. Irene awakens after witnessing another terrifying image of Valak. She steps outside her chamber and is attacked by the demon nun once more. Burke hears the noise and goes to help her, but he is attacked as well until Frenchie arrives with a shotgun. Irene locates the other nuns and begins to pray with them while an evil entity carves a pentagram into her back. Irene then sees what appears to be Ona's dead body, but she soon discovers that Ona and the other nuns were only visions. The three reconnect and they find Victoria was not attempting suicide, but rather sacrificing herself so that Valak could not control her body and spread fear. They enter the underground chambers in search of the item containing Christ's blood. Irene recognizes that Mary points the way refers to the statue of Mary, which physically indicates the way to the location of the relic. They find the vial containing the blood after opening its chamber using Victoria's key. Valak soon reappears and attacks the group. He starts to try and possess Irene while Burke is attacked by the demonic Daniel. Irene is briefly possessed, but Frenchie manages to throw some blood on her to free her. Valak unleashes an evil force on Frenchie before attempting to drown Irene. When he lifts her up, he notices that the vial is broken. She spits the blood in Valak's face, exorcising the demon and closing the rift. Irene asks Frenchie his real name as the three leaves the abbey, and he reveals it's Maurice. An upside-down cross is then burned into the back of Maurice's neck. The film concludes with a scene from the first Conjuring, in which Carolyn Perron, played by Lily Taylor, is watching Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, deliver a seminar about their meeting with the possessed Maurice, who subsequently commits suicide. His interaction with Lorraine allowed her to have visions, and sadly, it would not be the last time she faced Valak. Thank you for accompanying us on this frightening journey through the movie The Nun, 2018. We've explored the dark depths of the Conjuring universe, deciphered the mysteries of the Romanian Abbey, and confronted the demonic Valak. Remember to like if you enjoyed this horror study, subscribe for more spine-chilling stuff, and share your opinions in the comments below. Until next time, stay brave, stay curious, and may your nights be free of demonic nuns.